Very excited. It seems like it's been a while. I think guys are really, ready to kind of rip the seams and just kind of get to playing baseball again. I think for me, I'm just looking for to throw the first punch. Um, I'm expecting a very lively crowd, and I'm expecting us to be ready for a fight. And I think that's obviously in the context of playing a baseball game, but that's kind of the mindset that I expect from our guys.
You guys have obviously seen Dylan Cease very recently. When you think about just how you want to attack him, what did you like from the quality of at-bats from the last series, and how do you hope to see your guys kind of have maybe a similar one or of sorts for today?
Um, I like the at bats. It's really big stuff. It's a high velocity fastball. He can spin the baseball. I thought we got the pitch count up. Um, I think for us, it's kind of scare him out of the strike zone. And I think that if we do that, um, it'll bode well for us. I don't think we can just sit back on our heels, but I think that the at bats that we took, um, we can continue that. I think we'll fare pretty well.
Fabian up in the front.
Hey, Dave, is Freddie in there today?
We're seeing, he's still going through treatment. I haven't posted the lineup yet, so we're still in a wait and see mode. I'm still hopeful, maybe not as hopeful as I was yesterday.
If he is in there, is there anything you guys are going to have to do defensively to compensate maybe for lack of mobility for him, or be more conscious, maybe bump plays, stuff like that, stuff in his direction?
I think there might be a little bit of hedging as far as on the positioning side if he's in there. As far as playing how far in the hole can he play? Potential bunt situation. Do we got to give up more on the depth piece? So I would say yeah.
And then what went into some maybe the roster decisions, especially no Joe Kelly, and then having Grove and Enriquez on there?
So the Joe Kelly, his last pitch in his simulated game, throwing a change up, he felt something in his shoulder, and so that kind of put him out of the conversation, and so that was really disappointing, obviously for Joe. So he's just not even viable, being such a big piece of this and what he's done in past postseasons. So that's Joe. A week ago, whatever it was, Brewstar went down with the same shoulder situation. So that sort of Honeywell is not available until Game 5. So kind of that left Michael and Henriquez in play.
David standing up in the back.
Just to follow up on Freddie, if he's not able to be in the starting lineup, are you still considering Muncy or Kike to play there?
If Freddie's not in the lineup, we'll have Muncy at first base and Kike will be at third.
And as far as the roster, I know Kershaw has been continuing to keep his arm going, and I know this round was out of the question, but are you closing the door on him possibly being available for the NLCS if you make it?
No, we're not. We're closing the door. Clayton's done everything he can to keep this thing moving forward and giving himself a chance to participate in the postseason. But where he's at right now physically, the foot, the toe just is not cooperating, and is actually getting worse. So yeah, this is it for Clayton for 2024.
Juan.
Dave, with Freddie, you guys were pretty optimistic. He was pretty optimistic yesterday. Like, did something happen yesterday? Anything kind of change?
It's just I talked to him this morning, and there was still some soreness, and so we're trying to weigh the fact of being in there versus how effective it can be. Nothing. It's just more of kind of how he's feeling. So again, that's why I'm trying to wait as long as I can to see and go through his pre-workout and pre-game stuff.
Doc, when Freddie says he's trying to come back in a week from a 4 to 6 week rehab on an injury, how concerned does that make you that probably not a great idea to play this guy right now?
Yeah, that's why I think that there's a lot of hesitation, because it is a couple week thing for sure, a few week thing. With him, obviously, he's determined and wants to exhaust every potential possibility for him to play. So those are things, yeah, Barry, you got to weigh the fact that, you know, penciling in the name Freddie Freeman versus how, you know, effective he can be right now and the cost of ensuing games. So those are things that we're talking about, obviously, with the training stuff, absolutely.
Yeah, and also you don't want to make the injury any worse than it already is, too.
Correct.
So have you had a season, I know there've been crazy ones with injuries, but have you had a season where there's been more recurring injuries to the same players as this one?
Just injuries in totality, never seen anything like this. Yeah, just kind of overall, I don't know exactly as far as kind of the recurring, but yeah, it's been a crazy one for sure.
Stay here in the front.
With Yamamoto, Dave, I know obviously with his availability for Game 5, part of the reason he's throwing in Game 1, but you guys wouldn't have done that if you didn't think he could handle taking the ball in Game 1. What else is it about him that you believe he's ready for that?
I think that was part of the math. The other part is we just feel that he's got the pedigree. He's got the stuff. I think he's got the heartbeat. He has pitched in huge ball games, and it's all relative to where you are in life and your career. And so relative to that, he's pitched in huge baseball games, and he's done nothing but perform. And so I think with just knowing the makeup of the player, the skill set of the stuff, we just feel he's certainly a very viable number one.
Maria?
Yep. And Dave, just to clarify on Joe Kelly, would he be available for the next round or?
I don't think Joe would be available for the next round. I think if we were fortunate enough to get to the World Series, I think that would be the first conversation.
Jack, over here on the right.
Dave, when you talk about throwing the first punch, does it feel like obviously this is an important thing in any postseason series, but just getting ahead and playing with the lead in this matchup with how good both teams' bullpens are, does that feel like an especially big key this week?
It does. It's not, you know, the end-all be-all, but, you know, catching a lead certainly increases winning percentage. I just think that coming into this series, again, a team that's already played in a postseason environment, we have to match that intensity from the outset. And so that's why I kind of use the analogy of throwing the first punch, you know, be ready to fight. I think we've got to make sure that we get up to speed, you know, from pitch one.
And then when you look at the bullpen, how good of an idea for ninth inning situations do you have? Is it going to be kind of the way you guys played it out at the end of the season where it's more matchup based, or is Kopech or somebody else kind of like a more specific option for a potential save situation?
I would say it's more matchup based. I think that what we've done a good job is we've got, I mean, probably on our roster, there's 5 or 6 guys that have got a save maybe in this season, so I feel very comfortable. They've all pitched in leverage, whether it be the 5th, the 6th, the 7th, or the 9th. So I think that, you know, whatever pitcher I feel is best in that particular part of the game, part of the lineup, that's what I'm going to use.
Eric?
Dave, what about Miguel Rojas? Is he in the lineup today?
He's in the lineup today, and he's in the lineup, yes. And, you know, the week helped him. He feels good. He feels good. So it's what it is, and he's, like I said before, he wasn't going to miss this one.
I know we talked before the MRI results came out that showed the tear that he's been dealing with. That's for a while, but do you think it was that severe, what he's been dealing with, or is it just kind of? It's
somewhat severe. I think that where we're at right now is where we've been all year with him. So he hasn't played at 100% essentially all year. And so I think that's where he's at right now, and we're good with that.
And we'll finish up with Kirsten in the front.
Just quickly going back to Yoshinobu, do you feel good just in regard to his build-up, stress of the innings, just considering only 4 starts coming off the IL, preparing for this outing?
I do. And I think, you know, with the postseason, I think every pitcher, you know, in the postseason, especially our guys, know that you just go as hard as you can for as long as you can. Get as many outs as you can. And so as far as the build-up, I think that what we've done is certainly adequate to kind of put us in a good spot to win a ball game.
All right, thanks, Dave. We'll see you.
Thanks, guys. Yep.
All All right, we'll get started with Jack Flaherty. First question for Jack. Start with Kirsten down in front.
Jack, we obviously heard just the news of moving from game 1 to game 2 as the starter. Did that change anything in your routine, and how much are you looking forward to facing the Padres, and does the similarity or the familiarity of the last outing, how does that help you in this one?
Yeah, no, it doesn't change anything. It was one extra day, so for me, just push the bullpen back one more day. And then, yeah, just we didn't know who it was going to be, but it'll be fun, just like it was the last series when we faced them. Just looking forward to it. Looking forward to what Yoshi's got today and how it goes, and then just trying to piggyback off that.
David, in the back.
Jack, got 2 questions for you. Number one, how much are you embracing this opportunity that you have to not only pitch in the postseason again, but to pitch for the Dodgers in this postseason?
A lot. Just have had some conversations over the last couple of days with some family and some people close to me, just kind of putting it all into perspective and how kind of surreal and just crazy of an opportunity it is. Being from here and growing up here, having come to games here, and then, but it's different. Being able to be a part of it and be on this side of things. I've been here for a playoff game with St. Louis, but being able to be on this side and be a part of it over here is different, and it's just a lot of fun at the end of the day. This is it's like looking back, little like young me, if I was to tell myself this, what would like 8-year-old me say, and it'd just be pretty cool. So I'm trying to enjoy it.
Andrew was doing the press conference a couple of days ago and was asked about the fastball velocity, but he said that you're trying to kind of get your delivery all synced up. Do you feel like you've had enough time, and are you happy with where it's at in preparation for tomorrow?
Yeah, I think the last couple of starts we were working on a couple of things and trying to do a couple of things different, and we're gonna be able to go and use my strengths as we go forward, and the velocity is going to be whatever it is. I don't know, but at that point, it just comes down to executing. But we put in the work over the week and trying to figure some things out, and just try to be more consistent more than anything. Be able to locate the ball and spin the ball the way I want to.
Thank you.
Fabian in the front.
Yeah, Jack, how significant of a mechanical adjustment has it been for you the last week, sort of working through some stuff?
I mean, no different than I've gone through that stuff. Went through that stuff in Detroit. I had a couple starts where, we look at it and be like, hey, didn't have that extra extra little juice to it. It was like when I rear back, it might be 94, and we just look at it and make a couple adjustments to it. I still had it in the beginning of the game against San Diego. That was more about just slowing down and be like, okay, we got to go execute. Throwing hard's one thing, but if you don't really know where it's going, it doesn't really suit you that well. So, it all comes down to executing and going out there competing, and playing against a fun team.
Having just faced this Padres lineup, what are the different challenges that they present?
No, it's a good team, and they wouldn't be here if they weren't. And it's a deep lineup. 1 through 9, they put really good at bats together. Pretty much a veteran team outside of Merrill, but he's playing out of his mind. The moment never looks like it's too big for him, which is kind of rare, especially for as young as he is. But it's a veteran team up and down the lineup, and they put good at bats together one after the other, and they kind of feed off each other. So it makes it fun. You kind of you want those challenges, and you relish those opportunities to go up against a team like that.
A few more for Jack. Got Dylan, right.
Hey Jack, I know you pitched here in high school. I know it's kind of like on a much smaller stage in a way, but I'm guessing at that time it was kind of like the world, right? It's your nerves, I guess, maybe compared now to then.
It's not like nerves. You get excited for these opportunities and the chance to play here. You look at you want to look at high school. Like, I was really close with that group, and those guys are family. And I haven't been here too long, but these guys have taken me in and allowed me to come in and feel real comfortable here, which has been awesome. And anytime you get to be a part of something like this and play for this city, and it's special. So it's a lot of excitement and just like wanting to get out there and play and try to enjoy it, but also go out and compete. And you know, these are fun postseason games. Like, it's going to be intense. There's going to be a lot going on, a lot of excitement with the crowd and the energy that they bring, and you just feed off of it. Feed off of every single ounce of it. And you know, same way in high school, same thing. You know, and just a couple more people out there.
David?
Jack, just going back to what you were talking about as far as the way to attack the Padres, is that the biggest thing for you that you want to get back to, is just attacking and not shying away from, you know, the strike zone or anything like that, just having that mentality of being on the attack?
Yeah, just doing the little things right. Doing the little things right in the game. I think I've said that over the course of the last handful of starts. But, you know, I went through a couple of these when, you know, in the middle of the year in Detroit. You know, especially had some time off and, you know, came back, made some adjustments, and just want to get on the attack and go right after them. But, you know, good team, fun team to play against. You know, they're going to bring a lot of energy. We're going to have a lot of energy. It's going to be a fun series overall.
Thank you. Anything else for Jack? We'll do one more. Hazel on the left side.
Jack, understanding that every pitcher is different, what sort of intel or insight are you looking for as you're watching Yamamoto tonight facing the Padres?
I'm just looking for Yama to be himself, and I'm just gonna watch the game and enjoy it, and you know, just watch him go out and do his thing, and then watch the bullpen guys come in right after, and you know, let this lineup go out and swing it against Cease, and you know, it's just gonna be, you got stars all over the field, kind of what everybody wants to see. But in terms of trying to take anything away from it, we'll see. But just looking forward to Yama going out there and doing what we're supposed to do, which is go out and make pitches until Doc says that's it, and then yeah, just do everything that we can.
All right, Jack, appreciate you coming in. We'll see you tomorrow.
Thank you.
Okay, we can start with Will Smith. We'll start down in the front with Kirsten.
Will, just with Yoshinobu today, often when it comes to kind of just his preparation for this outing, people are going back to that Yankee Stadium performance. When you think about just kind of what you've seen from him coming off the IL, that outing in New York as well, what do you think just kind of stands out to you about Yoshinobu and what you expect from him this evening?
Yeah, Yosh, you know, he prepares. He knows what he needs to do. You know, I'm expecting to come in with this good stuff today. You know, it seems like he does when he needs it. So, yeah, I expect, you know, the fastball command to be there, good curveball, obviously splitter, slider, cutter, sinker. It's a full mix. So, you know, we'll come up with a game plan, and then, you know, expect him to come out there and execute it.
Obviously, without giving away anything, just when you think about the times in which you all have faced the Padres, what have you learned just from their at-bats and just kind of and how you're looking to kind of plan and to attack them?
Yeah, they're a good team, a good lineup. You know, all of them. They're all good hitters. You know, they got a lot of guys that can, you know, drive the ball in the gaps. They move the ball well. You know, they don't strike out a ton. So, yeah, we just got to manage it. You know, go out there and execute our game plan.
Jack.
Dave mentioned last week that you were one of the guys that helped like organize the watch parties this week. Just what has this week been like, and why was something like that so important for you guys as a group to do this week?
Yeah, it was a good week. We got a lot of good work in. Spent a lot of time with each other. You know, I think just talking with some of the older guys, leaders, it was just, you know, how can we stay in a rhythm? It's hard to, you know, come out of a rhythm with baseball. You know, we're playing every day, and all of a sudden we get a week off. So how can we stay in the rhythm? Be at the field, you know, for a decent amount of time, kind of like we do in the season. So yeah, we feel prepared. We're ready to go.
Does it feel like there's a heightened intensity level around the group coming out of that kind of experience this week going into this postseason than you guys have had?
Maybe. I mean, I feel like every year we've been prepared. It hasn't gone our way the last couple of years, but you know, we were just as prepared as we are this year. So we just got to go out there and execute.
Go straight back behind the riser.
Hey, well, how different was that with those watch parties and just kind of the way you handled that from the last couple of years?
We just got together at 8 and watched the game. Yeah. Like, we didn't do that the last couple of years, so I guess it's maybe a story, but you know, we're just preparing to play the series.
Those last kind of 10-ish days of the season for you, do you feel kind of something click offensively?
Yes and no. You know, better at bats. I felt like in a pretty good place the last few weeks, so just trying to carry the momentum.
Barry, up in the front.
Will, what kind of sentiments do you have when Doc comes in here and says Clayton's not going to be able to pitch this postseason, and without him being under contract, what he is going to do in the future is really up in the air?
Yeah, I mean he's been one of the best pitchers in the game. No doubt Hall of Famer. A Dodger his whole career. A teammate of mine for the last 5-6 years. So yeah, it stinks. He's not going to pitch for us. I know it stinks for us, the team, but also him personally. Yeah, so he'll be here every day. I know, cheering us on, being in the clubhouse, helping us out. Whatever way he can.
The last one's for Will. Eric in the middle.
Will, with Shohei at DH this year, you didn't have the outlet that you had in previous years to sort of get a pseudo rest day or whatever, but you caught more games this year than you ever have. Is there anything you did different physically to sort of prepare for that, and how do you think you've handled that this year?
Yeah, I feel like I've handled it pretty well. I don't feel fatigued at all. Feel ready to go. Just finding a good routine that you can maintain throughout the whole year. That's what I did. So yeah, my body feels good, ready to go.